I am never bored, but sometimes I want to find inspiration outside my house, even for a couple of hours. So, I realized that I haven't seen a good art show here in Naples for a long time. I usually see art as I travel, but where do I go this weekend? That's not the beach, food, or movies. I googled my answer, took my husband, and off we went. While Naples is an upscale beach town with little good art on display, Naples Art Institute surprised the locals with its newest exhibition titled Victor Vasarely, The Absolute Eye. This retrospective exhibition displayed over 100 serigraphs, lithographs, gouache paintings, drawings, and even a few small sculptures. So, who is Victor Vasarely? He is a Hungarian-French artist who lived between 1906 and 1997, and he is considered to be the father of the Optical Illusion Art, but his art is usually classified as geometric abstraction. Vasarely was 90 years old when he died in Paris. His innovations in color perception and optical illusion have influenced numerous artists. Today, his hand-pulled prints sell anywhere between $4,000 and $30,000 a piece. Sometimes op art is referred as optokinetic art. This is an art movement that relies on mathematical principles to construct repetitive abstract shapes, stripes, grids, or spirals to catch the involuntary eye movements we make when following moving patterns. In other words, this art stimulates the optokinetic response in us. Op art takes this response as the basis to visually trick us, but normally explores a wider artistic vision and techniques in art. So here are 5 facts you didn't know about Victor Vasarely and his art. Fact number 1, from medicine to mastermind. Before becoming the father of op art, Vasarely actually pursued a career in medicine. He switched paths mid-study, drawn to the power of visual communication. Later, he studied graphic design at the private school in Budapest. After that, he moved to Paris to work in advertising and design. It's interesting to note that Vasarely's earlier geometric abstract research was inspired by purely abstract elements he found in nature and urban spaces. He observed natural elements like stone, sand, and the light in the sea, the refractions and reflections in the light, and it pushed him to study how we see the light and how it generates a vibration in the sight. He then experimented with rounded shapes and forms that seemed to go outward from the painting or go inward. All in all, the kinetic illusion combined with this three-dimensional quality of the images became the foundation of his op art. Fact number 2, architect of 3D perception. Vasarely didn't just paint illusions, he aimed to engineer them. His works used geometry, repetition, and color play to manipulate how viewers perceive depth, movement, and even color itself. Thanks to his jobs in advertising and graphic design, he learned enough about human psychology to understand how we process visual information. The artist loved to create a different projection of perspective, where he used the geometrical method of constructing three-dimensional forms. The parallel side lines are drawn tripped over to one side at equal angles, and it creates a strange visual perception. Does the picture really depict a three-dimensional object or not? Zebras were the earliest examples of op art, as we can see a play between negative and positive space with the stripes. Fact number 3, op art is for everyone. The artist believed that public art was important, and he did a lot of commissions and architectural integrations, bringing op art to everyday spaces like buildings and metro stations. Influenced by the futurist, constructivist, and Dadaist, op art spread all over Europe and came to the US in the 60s. Vasarely is known for his series of serigraphs titled Vega Structures. Vega Structures is one of the best-known series produced by the artist. It's named after the brightest star in the summer's night sky. So the artist was inspired by news about mysterious signals received from galaxies, and he named many of his works after stars and constellations. The Vega pictures rely on convex-concave distortions of a grid-like network, a sophisticated combination of the cube and the sphere, symbolically referring to the two-way motion of the light that emanates from pulsating stars and to the functioning of condensing galaxies and the ever-expanding universe. He deformed the basic grid, and depending on the degree of enlargement or reduction, the elements in the deformed grid can be transformed into ellipses. Fact number 4. Art is more than meets the eye. Vasarely saw his art as a bridge between science and art. He incorporated mathematical principles and studied perceptual psychology to achieve the dynamic, almost psychedelic optical effects in his op art. He believed that art should be based on scientific principles to create a sense of movement, energy, depth expressed in geometric forms and optical illusions rather than a simple copying of nature. Fact number 5, seeing beyond canvas. Op art wasn't just about grid paintings. According to Tate, Vasarely experimented with various mediums, including sculptures, tapestries, and even architectural facades, creating flickering effects of depth, perspective, and motion. What is a serigraph? In the absolute eye, the majority of art we see are vibrant serigraphs produced by the artist. A serigraph is a stencil-based printing process, normally called the silkscreen printing. Warhol is the most famous modern artist who used this printing method to create his art. So a separate stencil is made for each color used in the art, and then these stencils typically use a photosensitive emulsion on a fine mesh screen, and areas left open on the stencil will allow ink to pass through, moving it with a squeegee. It results in very vibrant colors. Silk screens are usually made as limited editions because each layer is hand-pulled, each stencil is handmade, and each full-color serigraph is numbered and signed by the artist. After walking through the exhibition and getting to know the artist, I was impressed with Victor Vasarely's ability and mathematical precision to draft geometric forms. This is something I find very difficult to do in my art. As I've done silkscreen and other printmaking methods in college, I can appreciate the artist's attention to detail and precision with which he worked to produce his op art prints. They just look so perfect. More importantly, his thorough understanding of geometry and mathematical perspective led him discover his own ideal of beauty comprising the universe. Instead of copying visual cues from nature like trees or birds, the artist studied nature to see the underlying structure of everything living. While op art or geometric abstraction is not my favorite art movement, I can see how it can play its role in other artists' painting, including mine. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of this video. It's quite different from my previous ones. And don't forget to visit veronicasart.com to sign up for my awesome VIP list. I email every 4 to 6 weeks to get you inspired and educated about art. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye.